Welcome back, everyone. Welcome to another Wednesday night, the Fundamentals to Gain Inner Peace with your host, Coach Menachem Bernfeld. And here we are. It's been a few weeks, and I hope everyone is taking care of themselves. And tonight, we're just going to spend a few minutes to see where we are, to look back a little bit, and see what comes up. There is no right and wrong. It just is. And I hope everyone had a chance to put away their sukkah or their Pesach stuff. It doesn't have a deadline. Yeah, for Pesach, you have to be ready when Pesach comes. But to put away the stuff, maybe Pesach does. When you bring in the chametz, you have to, can't have the Pesach stuff around. So it could be there's a deadline. But when there's no deadline, many times we leave things for tomorrow. It's just another awareness. Okay, so make yourself comfortable and let's see where we are. It's been a few weeks and Pesach in between. Let's look at the before and after. Here we are, it's after Pesach. What were the things that we were worried or looking forward? Did it work out that way? What did reality look like? What did my reality look like? Sometimes it's different. Sometimes it's better. Sometimes worse. Just reflecting. Take a deep breath, make yourself comfortable, and let's look back. Okay, so let's get grounded before we start. And hopefully that will help us to see where we are. Okay, let's take a deep breath, make yourself comfortable. You can stretch, just feel where you feel a little bit of stress. And just breathe in and out. Let it go. And let's do a short breathing exercise. And it's going to be 4, 4, 8. 4 in, 4 hold, and then 8 out. Slow exhale. We'll do that for 3 times, and just to slow down and become aware of where we are. So here we are, in, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4, out, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. In, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Out, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. In, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Out, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Very good. Now just go back to regular breathing and see if you slow down a little bit. By doing these exercises, that helps us slow down our breathing and just become present. Okay, so looking back, doing some reflection, taking some time to see where we are. So the first step is to just be present. And then being able to see the full picture. The full picture, sometimes things that we're grateful for, things that worked out even better than we thought. And then there are other things that are maybe not the way we wanted. Some challenges come up. And we're not going to fix anything now. We're just going to become aware and just look back and see. So if you have a pen and paper, you make it easier. You take a piece of paper, make a line in the middle of the page, and on one side you write all the things that you're grateful for, and the other side you write the things that just didn't work out the way you wanted, or made you upset, or something you don't want to think about. But it's important to see the full picture and see both sides. Okay, so that's the step number one is the awareness. Just take a deep breath, see where you're up to. I know a lot of people, they would love to get back to routine. After Yom Tov, they're happy, it's over, back to routine, they're more used to it, and that's it. Other people, they would love if Yom Tov would continue. It's beautiful. They don't like to go back to routine. They don't like to go back to work. Just not for them. They just want to stay home and relax, take it easy. And then there are those who, wherever they go there, they don't like it. And that happens. It also happens. So you can share in the chat where you are. Are you the one that wants to go back to routine? Are you the one who wants to stay with vacation, taking it easy? Or they're both the same for you and you're just not in a good place? You don't like A and not B. And that's just step number one, just becoming aware, looking back, seeing where I am. Some people like routine. Some people wouldn't mind a little bit more Yom Tov, but not too much. That makes sense. Beautiful. Okay, thank you for being honest and for sharing. So again, we're not changing anything, just becoming aware. Take a deep breath and look at it. Just looking at where am I? Waiting for the boys to go back to yeshiva. School, very good. Very good. It's important to see that. Okay, so we're going to start with the things that were a challenge. Okay, so come up with at least two things that were a challenge for you the past 3 weeks, and just write them down. It's personal, something that no one has to know about it. And even though on the outside you might be pretending as everything is great and looks like you managed and no one knows about it, but it's something that you feel, something that's not easy for you, and it was a challenge. And it could be you managed or you didn't manage, but whatever it is, just write it down. There are some people who it's hard for them to find something negative. To write down just two or three challenges. They believe everything was great, everything is okay, everything was good. And if you know me, I promote seeing some challenges. Why is that? Because it's just not possible that everything should work out. We all have ups and downs, and that's a definition of life. We plan, we hope. Sometimes it does work out, sometimes it doesn't. But there's always the ups and downs. It's just sometimes a challenge for people to actually to admit and to feel it and to say, that I didn't like it. So they don't want to go there. And that's the emotion that we don't enjoy. And you don't want to see it. So that's why it could be hard. But to come back to this world of emotions, to come back to the world of feeling, to the world of enjoying life, looking forward, we have to see both. You have to be able to see the things that didn't work out, and then you can see the things that did, and you see the things that you didn't enjoy, so that the other things you did enjoy. So yeah, please find two things or even one, and just write them down. Just write down one or two things that were a challenge for you in the past 3 weeks. We discussed it in the past. Toxic positivity, when somebody walks around saying everything is positive, and even if they use, sometimes they use Hashem and saying everything is for the good. And even though, I didn't like it, but if this happened, then obviously it's for the good, which is beautiful. I'm not taking that away. But in a way, you don't let yourself experience whatever feeling comes up. Okay, if you didn't enjoy it, so to actually feel that you didn't enjoy it, what comes up? What do you feel? Where do you feel it in your body? What's that emotion? What's that feeling when you don't enjoy it? And then after we're aware of it, we let ourselves experience it. So then eventually we can go to, take a deep breath, feel it, and then say, you know what? To make it a little bit easier, you can say, Baruch Hashem, most of the things worked out, and it's okay. Okay, so you stopped, you spent a few seconds in that space, and then you went to that part of saying, it must have been for my goods and Baruch Hashem, and it's amazing. But you give yourself that space that we all need because we're human and we all have emotions and we have ups and downs, and there are things that we just don't like. And then there's another reason why we don't want to experience it. We don't like that emotion that comes up. But many times it could be a social pressure. I have to pretend that everything is working out. Other people shouldn't know that I am having challenges, that I didn't enjoy it, that I'm feeling this feeling. So we can't let go. So if that's the problem, then I would say, okay, so when you go out, you put on a smile on your face, beautiful. But you should have a space, a place where you can actually meet yourself and be honest. Where can you be honest with yourself? Okay, so I hope you're able to write something down on that side. And then we go to the other side. What are the things that you're grateful for? Okay, all those things that worked out and were amazing. And you set your intention and it worked even better. You're grateful for yourself, the things that you did. You can look at yourself and say, wow, the past 3 weeks, it might have been a challenge. It wasn't easy, but you managed. You did A, B, and C, whatever it is. Write it down. Be grateful for yourself. Grateful for others in your life. And grateful to Hashem. And then there are people who it's hard for them to find anything to feel grateful for. Their list on the negative side is full. But to feel grateful, everything that I'll mention, they'll say, but it didn't work out. Myself, what did I do? Nah, it wasn't good. People around me, Hashem, it's hard, it's hard to find, so again, it's important to be aware of where you are. Some people it's hard to find gratitude, other people it's hard to admit that they have challenges, but we have to be honest, take a deep breath, stop for a moment, and connect with yourself, with the ups and downs, with the whole picture, with the full picture. You have to see them both and feel them both. And if you have a challenge feeling gratitude, so sometimes it could be coming from perfection. So everything I'll say, whether it's your cooking or it's the people around you, you're always going to say, yeah, but. So we're not looking for perfection. Nobody's perfect. Could you find something, a little bit to feel grateful for? Okay, that's a start. And write it down. So that's one thing. Perfection can come in the way. And then many times we don't let ourselves feel. Do you know how it feels to feel grateful? Do you know what it feels like to feel grateful? I know that you might be grateful for things, but do you know what it feels like? That's like the next step. Never thought about it. What do you mean? What does it feel like? I'm grateful for this, grateful for that. But grateful is a feeling. You know how it feels. Have you ever felt grateful? Like we discussed many times, the felt perception, feeling. But for that, we have to stop. You have to actually stop, feel the sun, feel the warmth, and let it in. But if we're busy and there's a lot going on, you might say, "Oh, Baksham, this worked out. I'm grateful for this," and you're like, "Next, next, next." You're running, but to feel, we have to stop. So hopefully, you're able to find something that you feel grateful for, and it's a muscle that we have to, we have to do some exercise to feel and feel even grateful. It might be a muscle that you have to sit there, feel it. In the beginning, you might feel a little bit and just stay there a little bit more. And every day, just feel, do that exercise of feeling grateful, letting the feeling in and actually feeling that flow of relaxation. When you feel grateful, it has a certain feeling in your body to experience it. Many times you can look back on something that happened in the past. It doesn't have to be in this past with 3 weeks. It could be a year ago or anything that happened that you remember. That when that happened, you really felt grateful, and you can actually re-experience that moment. Get yourself back into that feeling, so that you can exercise to feel grateful. So we can try to do that now. If you wrote down something on the paper, something that you're grateful for from the past 3 weeks, from Pesach, from the people around you. So let's go there again. Okay. If it's negative, don't go there. But if it's positive, think back of that time that you felt it. Or if it's something that happened in the past, just think about it for a moment. Stop, close your eyes, take a deep breath. You just see it happening again, see how you felt when that happens, and just feel what your body feels. Be aware of how your body feels, and just stay there, let it flow with the breath in and out. And just see how you feel. Beautiful. And for many, it's hard because how do I go back there? I don't know. It's hard for some to connect to something that happened in the past, but it takes time just to imagine it. And when I say the word imagine, it's just seeing yourself doing it again, just seeing yourself there and letting yourself feel what you felt. Beautiful. So that's the feeling, okay, you're going to have both feelings, positive and negatives, by spending some time, by stopping and writing them down, seeing them. You're going to feel them both. And if it's too hard to see the negative, try to breathe through it. And you do the exercises that help you. You can pick up the phone and share it with somebody, someone who can listen. You might need that. And then let yourself experience the positive. Let yourself take it in and experience it. A very good exercise is to actually start having a list, a list of the things that you felt good about, so that when you need it, you can just pull out that list and re-experience, remember. Sometimes you're in a low mood, you're in a place where you're thinking nothing is working out. You can't see any lights. It's just you're not in a good place. So you can pull out that piece of paper and you see, oh wow, yeah, you can remember some positives. But if you don't have that list when you're in that black space, you're not going to be able to remember those things. You're not going to let yourself remember it because you're in a place where, nah, it's not working. Not working. No one is there for me. Can't really talk to anyone. No one understands. But do you remember you went out with your friend for lunch? Do you remember you had a good conversation with someone? You won't remember if you write it down and you say, wow, I'm grateful for my friend, grateful for that time going out with, conversation or whatever it is. So you can look back and it makes you feel a little bit better, helps you to bring that in. and to relive it. So one thing is to create that list so that when you need it, you have it. Other thing is we discussed in the past, every day could be the end of the day, beginning of the day, write down two things that you're grateful for. Start exercising that feeling. You write down those two things and then you stop, close your eyes, and you feel it. A lot of people don't understand journaling, writing down 10 things that you're grateful for. What does it help? So in the beginning, they just write, Baruch Hashem, I'm healthy, Baruch Hashem for the weather, Baruch Hashem for my spouse, Baruch Hashem for my kids, Baruch Hashem for my feet, my nose. You know, in the beginning, it might sound silly because it's logic. But after you write it down, close it, close your eyes, and now start feeling it. You start feeling what you feel that you're grateful for. So you can exercise that feeling, and it helps you exercise the feelings in general, and especially those positive feelings. So looking back, you can feel accomplished. You can feel good about the relatives. If you went somewhere, the things that worked out. Many times you're aware of the things that you feel you should feel grateful, but I don't, and you feel guilty about it. You can write that down on that side that I feel guilty. That happens a lot of times. I don't feel grateful, and I should. Hashem does so much good, so many good things to me. I should feel grateful, and I don't. So that's guilty. Just being aware of that. So that's about it. Just stopping for a moment, looking at the full picture. If it's easier to see the things that didn't work out, okay, be aware of that and start exercising and fill up the other side. If it's easier to see the things that, you know, everything is good, and when I ask you, just mention one thing that didn't work out, you can't come up with anything, everything is great, I'm going to push you to find something, even though it's something small, because that's how it works, the ups and downs. Like we discussed many times, it could be an escape. Everything is great. Baruch Hashem, it always works out. Every year worked out. This year also worked out. And I don't know what you're talking about. Everything is great. What's going on? What's really going on? And eventually, with the exercise, whether it's positive or negative, whatever it is, slowly we can experience, be there, and allow ourselves to breathe, to calm down, and start experiencing life and letting things flow so that we can let things go. Okay, so that's it for tonight. So we'll have 2-3 minutes for questions. Let's see where we are. Okay, so sometimes being with relatives can be hard. So even though you're doing a great job, you feel grateful and things are good, but they are giving you that feeling that this didn't work out, that didn't work out. So it's important to find some space and be aware of that. Because, you know, when they leave, you might feel guilty. And the truth is, it's sometimes it's a voice inside of our head, and sometimes it's a voice outside. It can be a different person, but it's all a voice. They weren't happy. Something in my head is saying it wasn't happy. Stop for a moment, take a deep breath, and be aware of it. That's it. Once you're aware of it, you can slowly say, you know, that's the voice, that's them, and that's okay. And I'm not going to let that take me over. And then you can slowly come to a place where you can get grounded, recenter, and get back to where you need to be, how you want to feel about yourself. And that's very important, especially when there's other people around you. It's just not possible to please everyone. Just not possible. And for those who want to please, and that's a different topic. So they're always busy pleasing others, but when they come home, they're exhausted, and that's a problem. Sometimes they package it with chesed. Something to talk about, not for now. Um, any more questions? You can put them in the chat. Okay, here's a question. In regarding of dealing with my inner child, sometimes I don't have the answer when it's overwhelmed, angry, or stressed. In stress. Oh, the inner child. So that's amazing that you're connecting with your inner child. So sometimes we don't have the answer. Sometimes it's upset. It brings up ideas. And that's nice. First of all, just be aware that it's talking, you're listening. Listen to it. And I'm thinking that maybe when you don't have an answer, it might be better. Because when you do have an answer, right away the adult you says, but this, but that. But that's not the way we connect to our inner child. Connecting to our inner child is, I haven't heard from you in a while. What's going on? What's on your mind? What are your thoughts? And you let it talk, and it's upset about A, B, and C. You say, wow, thank you for sharing. It must have been so hard that no one listened to you till now. So if you don't have the answer, let's say it's financial stress. The little, I'll give you an example. The name is Yankee. The little Yankee is upset. Doesn't know, it's upset. He wants to have money, he wants to do this, he wants to do that. All his life he feels like doesn't have. And the adult Yankee is sitting there and saying, the truth is, I'm also worried. I'm I'm having a hard time. Okay, so for the adult Yankee to say to tell it to the in for the inner child to that child Yankee, you might say maybe you don't want to say it right away. Just listen. Just listen and say, wow, it must be very hard. And I don't have the answer. I don't always have the answer, but I'm listening. So that's that number one. When the child feels that somebody listened and understood, even if there's no answer, they feel good. Okay. Eventually you might try to say, let's work it out together. Let's take a walk. Let's see what we can do. Let's try A, B, and C. Fine. But step number one is always to listen. So it might be better if you don't have an answer and just listen. The reason why it's hard is because you get caught in. You get caught into the conversation and it's hard to disconnect. What's the inner me, inner child, and what's the adult? So when the inner child is upset that he's not making money and he has to make more and he's to cover the bills, you get pulled in because you have the same concerns. So that's where it could be hard. But if you take, with practice, just breathe, listen to it, and see how it's upset and full of stress. Okay, let's see. So for some people, they had a beautiful Yom Tov. Others, it was a challenge, and it could be a challenge for many. Shabbos itself could be a challenge. Talking about sitting with family for 2 hours, and now it's many hours. Oh, talk about all those sudas, whether you went out, ate in. There's a lot going on, and if it's not easy, it comes up. So that's important just to see what are the things that worked out. That's amazing. I do want to share to for those that feel they need a little bit of a boost. Okay, and now some people they don't listen to music. I do want to share that you should call and ask your local rabbi because there is an idea out there for some people, if it helps them in their day, that they might be able to listen to music. So again, you should ask. Okay, it's not something that I'm putting out there, but I know that it is out there for those who need it. So pick up that phone, make that phone call, have a conversation, and if it's needed, it's okay. And that's part of being aware. Where am I? What do I need? And sometimes I feel a place I just can't, I'm not motivated. I can't continue. I just need a few minutes. And if that works for me, you know, get that heter if you need it, because if you need it, you need it. Beautiful. Okay. Thank you so much. Thank yourself for taking some time to reflect, which is not always easy. Looking back, You can do it again. You can journal, just write down your thoughts and see what comes up. Listen to that inner child, connect with yourself, and fill up both sides. You don't have to fill it up, but do the exercise, positive, negatives, and be there. Keep on breathing. And it's Hashem, eventually you'll be able to let go of certain things, let things flow instead of holding things back and not letting it out, just breathing in and out, let it flow. And that's what we're looking for. So have a great night, a beautiful week, and I'll see you in Menachem next week, Wednesday night. Thank you all for all the feedback and the questions. Thank you.